It's time now for the World Cup debrief with Emily Boyle. The round of 32 is slowly coming to an end. Emily, catch us up with the latest.
Loads to discuss, and as always, with us here to discuss all the football details, Ruben Slagter, welcome.
Thank you.
I'll be coming to you in a second, but I thought we would start with one of the games last night, and it's not by scheduling, because I am a Switzerland fan, but there was a Switzerland-Algeria game to discuss. It was Swiss superstar Yohan Manzambi who powered his way past the Algerian defence to give Breel Embolo the first goal of the evening for La Nati. A second Swiss goal came in the second half with a great strike from Nottingham Forest winger Dan Ndoye. Algeria were unable to come back from 2-0 down. Star winger Riyad Mahrez announced after the game that was his last with the Phoenix, as he's retiring from international football after 113 caps and 39 goals. La Nati therefore moves on to the next round with their first World Cup knockout stage win since 1938. They'll face either Colombia or Ghana in the round of 16. Now, Ruben, I woke up to watch that game at 5 o'clock this morning, and I was just quite confused by this Algerian side. They seemed to kind of disappear on the pitch. What did you make of their performance?
I think that it was a very good performance from the Swiss. Let's make it positive. I think that what we've seen from Algeria in this tournament is that I think it's not good enough. Unfortunately, if you compare it to Morocco, for example, I think that they are lacking a bit of energy in the team and also the dynamics. It's Mahrez playing his last tournament. They're waiting maybe for a new, stronger generation. I think this is just the level they have, and it's not good enough to beat Switzerland, unfortunately for them.
And also headed by ex-Swiss coach Petkovic, of course, who seemed not super happy on the sideline there. But you were talking about new generation, so let's look at this Swiss side. And Yohan Manzambi, who we were talking about just a little bit earlier. I mean, what a player this guy is. He's set to become maybe one of the most expensive Swiss players ever. What do you make of him, and what does he infuse into the Swiss side?
It's maybe the breakthrough performance of the whole World Cup. I mean, you can discuss it. Bouhaddi is incredible. Sabah is incredible. But what I really like you say, I mean, when we watch Switzerland, especially in those big tournaments, was that it was lacking maybe a bit of creativity and energy up front. It was always decent. It was well organized, and they always went into the second round because there was enough quality. But that little bit of extra, that was what was missing. And I think that Manzambi is really providing it. And being Switzerland, I mean, they will play now against Colombia or Ghana. It's not impossible.
Meanwhile, we were treated to some last-minute drama in the Portugal-Croatia game.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of last-minute drama in this round of 32, but we had another dose of it in the Portugal-Croatia game. It was billed as probably one of the last dance for at least one of two footballing icons, as Luka Modric and Cristiano Ronaldo battled for a spot in the round of 16. If the first half of the match was a little slow, it all kicked off in the second, as Ivan Persic gave Croatia the lead shortly after half-time. A foul in the box meant that it was time for Cristiano Ronaldo to step up to the penalty spot and thunder the ball straight down the middle to bring Portugal back level. Cristiano Ronaldo therefore scoring his first ever knockout stage goal for Portugal in a World Cup. Then things got a bit frantic, but it was super sub Gonçalo Ramos who gave Portugal the lead in the 94th minute. Unbelievably, Croatia thought it had managed to claw its way back into the fight thanks to a goal by Josko Gvardiol in the dying seconds of stoppage time, but heartbreakingly that was ruled out after a VAR check, ending Croatia's World Cup campaign in its tracks. That means that Portugal are through to the next round, where they'll face Spain in a blockbuster round of 16 fixture. A victory sealed on the one-year anniversary of Diego Jota's death, and fans in Lisbon also paid tribute to the Liverpool star, lighting up the sky, the Portuguese sky in the 21st minute, as you can see there in those beautiful images, 21 being his number with the Portuguese national team, of course. So a lovely tribute there, and a tribute to one also on the pitch. Now, there is a lot of debate about that one aspect that we were talking about, that last-minute drama there with that goal that was disallowed thanks to some high-tech ball technology. What did you make of all of that discussion?
Yeah, well, I mean, if we have the technology, you have to use it, and they show us that there was a touch, and you can more or less see it. So in that case, you can judge it's a touch, and it is an offside situation. The ref was very honest. He said already straight away that he didn't see it, so he was fully supported by VAR. That's why VAR is there. You can like it or not. I'm not a big fan of VAR, but for me, VAR has to be there when it's 100% sure. If you consider this 100% sure, it's an offside situation, but it's of course a very cruel one, because it's. What's also a pity is that it took us away 30 extra minutes from one of the most exciting matches so far in the tournament. And also, if this is the way that Luka Modric, but not only him, this Croatian team has given us so much joy over the years. If you imagine how small the country is and how far they went, final in 2018, semi-final 2022, to finish and to end it with such a situation is a bit of a pity. But okay, yeah, those are the rules, and this is football in 2026.
Well, let's talk about Luka Modric just briefly, because it may or may not, it's looking quite likely that this will be his last World Cup. He's 40 years old. What do you think his legacy is as a football player?
Well, what a player. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Luka Modric. The way he couldn't dictate games, it's not the same anymore because of his age now. But even this year with AC Milan, in a very poor Milan side, he was still able to almost help them into the Champions League spot. So, yeah, what a player, and that he's still also now playing for Croatia. And also, what I like about him is that he never took the first row in the team. He was always there to support the team. For me, the best example is here, this World Cup in the England game, where clearly it was not his game. It was a super fast, dynamic game from end to end, where he couldn't play a role. That he steps aside. He's saying, "Okay, listen, I will go. I will go to the bench, and let's bring a midfielder who can run a lot more." So, just a jewel of a player for the sport.
Meanwhile, not such a tight game between Spain and Austria.
No, unfortunately for Austrian fans, it was a bit of a walk in the park for La Roja, who got 3 past a struggling Austrian side. Cucurella and Oyarzabal were on fire, with Oyarzabal netting his 4th goal of the tournament so far. Austria didn't manage a single shot on target. Meanwhile, Spain is yet to concede a goal at the tournament. Spain's keeper Unai Simon now has the joint longest run of clean sheets in World Cup history, with 5 in a row. Austria, therefore, heading home without that single shot on target, as I mentioned, and Spanish and Austrian fans walked out of the stadium with mixed emotions. Take a listen.
My team is Spain. I'm very happy. Hopefully, well, we do really good in the next round. It's probably going to be against Portugal, and I think we should crush them.
The Spaniards were the favorite, and they're a really good team, but I thought our team did a really, really good job just getting here, getting through the group stage, and we're just so happy to be here and support them.
3-0 like that, with 2 shots on goal, not even to target. I want to cry, I'll be honest with you. I came all over from Austria. It took me maybe 2-3 months to save the money over here, and 2 shots on goal.
First round was a little bit low, but today the team was great. Perfect passing. Awesome.
Awesome, an awesome side though, according to that fan. But a very brief question on this Spanish side. Have they done enough to cement their status as favourites in this competition to rival France, or do they still have a bit of a way to go?
Well, what I like is that they're stepping up their game every match. That's what we discussed a bit before the tournament. The most important thing is that you will be on your best when the money time comes. The problem for Spain, of course, is that they would have liked to have now still a bit more of a easier round, but now Portugal is coming for them. So for them, the tournament now will really start in the next round, whereas maybe for France it will be a bit later. But what I liked about Spain is just they seem to be getting better every game. The passing is still on point, but the good thing is, of course, that Yamal is improving every game, and because of that, Oyarzabal gets more space, and then you see that he's pretty underrated as a striker, in my opinion. If you see all the numbers he has in that Spanish side, it's just a very good number 9. So they have, for me, they are the biggest challengers for France when it comes down to who will win this World Cup.
Well, that's it for last night's games. Emily, take us through some of the latest World Cup news.
Yes, well, we talked a few weeks back about how England might be cursed during their preparations, at least. But there's a new spooky phenomenon in town. The curse of the 86th minute. Someone seems to have cast a spell on African teams in this round of 32 because 3 teams have conceded in the 86th minute and gone on to be eliminated. Ivory Coast was the first victim, with Norway's Haaland scoring in that 86th minute. Same thing happened to the DRC when Harry Kane scored for England, and then again for Senegal when the 86th minute saw Romelu Lukaku score the first goal of Belgium's epic comeback. Of the 9 African teams who made it to the round of 32, only Morocco has made it through so far. 3 more teams, though, are hoping for qualification this evening, so keep your eyes on that clock and on that doomed 86th minute. Elsewhere in the World Cup news, Julian Nagelsmann has stepped down as head coach of Germany after the country's shock exit against Paraguay in the round of 32. He becomes the 9th head coach to have lost his job in this World Cup, after managers for Netherlands, Uruguay, South Korea, Scotland, Ecuador, Tunisia and the Czech Republic. Now, according to Sky Germany, Jurgen Klopp has said that he is ready to take over the role and is apparently in talks with the German Federation already. The former Liverpool legend currently head of global football at Red Bull, but his current contract includes an exit clause specifically for that Germany job.
And there's plenty more football to come. The last games of the round of 32 kick off this evening.
Yes, the last few deciders to complete that beautiful bracket of the round of 16 that we have. The Socceroos kick off against the Faroes as Australia face off against Egypt. Reigning champions Argentina up against first-timers Cape Verde, and Colombia square off with the Black Stars of Ghana tomorrow at 3 a.m. Paris time. Now, a lot of action to go through there. Of course, let's start with that Australia game. They've only scored 2 goals so far in this competition. Is that attack strong enough to get past Egypt?
I'm not sure. I think that Australia, if you look at it, how they're playing so far, that first game, of course, against Turkey was the big surprise. I mean, I don't think that a lot of people were expecting them to win it. The energy is still there. It will be an interesting clash of 2 styles. I think that Egypt, I think you can compare Australia a bit with New Zealand, and Egypt won against them, but they also had a hard time. I think that the physicality of the Australian players could be a weapon against Egypt, but if you look purely at the quality of the players, for me, Egypt is the favourites.
Yeah, and then we've also got that David versus Goliath fixture, of course, with Argentina against Cape Verde. Can Cape Verde hope for the surprise of the century? And if they were to do that, how would they do that on the pitch, actually? What kind of tactical tools do they have that they could use against this Argentina side?
Well, I think that they will try to continue a bit on what they did against Spain. So first of all, they have to defend really well. I think that's the issue will be, of course, the whole atmosphere that will be around the game. I mean, it's very difficult when you get out of a group stage, and that's already a surprise that you need the focus again to make the next step. And the problem for Cape Verde has been to score goals so far. So yeah, if I were them, I would really inspire themselves by how the DR Congo played against England. Although they lost, of course, but I think that was the way to do it. Play from a defense, but really try to get them out of the comfort zone. The problem with Argentina is that this team is so they're just focused on one player, which is Lionel Messi, and everything is just working for him. So yeah, really to go from a counter-attack against them, for me it seems very complicated. But again, Cape Verde, they also should step in there with nothing to lose. They already won the tournament for themselves, but why not go a bit further?
And what about that last fixture that we have to look forward to? Ghana against Colombia. They'll be up against Switzerland, of course. We've seen Ghana force England to a draw. Looked really strong defensively. Is that something that they're going to roll out again in this situation?
They will, but I think that Colombia for Ghana is a really tough opponent. I think that Colombia is again one of those dark horses in the tournament that has been so far performing really well. If you look, they are now they won a group before in front of Portugal. You shouldn't underestimate what they did there. For me, for Ghana, it will be a really tough one, but it would be nice. We have 3 African teams. There's just 1 through, so to have 1 or even 2 going through, that would be very nice, I think.
Well, we'll have to keep our eyes on those games, of course. But before we leave, just a thought for journalist Christophe Glaise, who remains detained in Algeria. He was given a 7-year sentence for what was said to be glorifying terrorism. His lawyers are hoping that a presidential pardon may happen. He was working on a report on the country's most decorated football club, Jeunesse Sportive de Kabylie, when he was arrested over 2 years ago.
Emily, Ruben, thank you very much for the World Cup debrief. I guess we'll have more results tomorrow. Check in, see how things went.
Of course.
All right. Well, time now for a quick break. Please stay tuned to France 24.